Good morning, children. I hope you all are fine. Today we'll be starting our second chapter. It's about topology. Topology means the layout of computers, how it helps us in different ways. So let's start the topic directly. I'll share the screen with you and teach you. Yes, children, this is topology. You have different types of topology, network topologies they call. You have a star topology, a bus topology, and you have ring topology, mesh topology, you have tree topologies, and some other type of topologies. You have many of them, but we'll be learning the most important of all. Okay, children, let's start. Okay, what is the meaning of topology? What is the meaning of network topology? Network topology is the arrangement or the layout of your computers, how you lay it out. Like in our school, we have put it in a straight line that's called a bus topology. So the basic need for laying out these computers in a different order is for the use of communication and to share the resources. What are the resources that you can share? You can share the peripherals like the printer, the scanner. Those are the type of things you can share if you're in a network. You need not arrange separate scanner and printer for each one. Okay, so here we are going to learn about the three basic type of topologies, which is bus topology, star topology, and ring topologies. We'll see how are they and what are the advantages and disadvantages. The very first type of topology is a bus topology. You can see it is laid on a single continuous cable. This single continuous cable is called the backbone of the cable. The central cable is called the backbone of the cable. Because it looks like a bus, it's called a bus topology. And the data passes through each computer. It goes from the cable, it will go into this computer, it can come out, it can go. So it passes through each computer before it reaches its destination. So the data passes through each computer till it reaches its destination. So only one device can transmit at a time. If you transmit again, it will go only in one device. All won't get the same information immediately. And on this type of a device, most commonly used type of cable is the coax cable. Coaxial type of cable, the coaxial type of cable, and it has a T connector. You can see these ends, they are called the T connector. So it is used for connecting computers on this type of layout. It's since this beginning and end is not connected, they have two things called the terminators. This is a terminator and this is a terminator. It is placed on both ends so that you don't get a bounce back of all the data, and so you need this uh, type of cabling for the bus topology. What is the advantage of this type of topology? The advantage is it is very economical because it is very easily set up. It's very simple. It's very less expensive because you need only one single wire for connecting all the computers and these small cable wires to connect each one. If not, it's one single line. And it's easy to extend in the middle. If it's a long line, you can extend and add many PCs in this network. And what are the disadvantages? It's less reliable because they are connected on a single table, they're on the single cable. So even if the cable gets damaged, what will happen? All the computers, they'll not be able to pass the data and all stop working. So it's less reliable because all computers are connected on a single cable. So any damage in the cable or in the T connector, it will make the entire network to stop working. And it's very difficult to diagnose the fault because we don't know where the cable wire got cut, but automatically all stop to work. They don't work. So it's very difficult to identify the problem in this network because it has only one single backbone. They are not separately connected like in the other type of networks. So you understood? It lies on a single cable, which is called a backbone, and data is transmitted through each computer till it reaches its destination, and they are provided with a terminator since it's not connected from the beginning to the end. Next type of topology is a star topology. The star topology is a layout which exactly looks like a star. In this type of topology, every computer is connected to a central device. This central device is called a hub. The hub is like a plug point. You learned in a previous lesson, the hub is one of the devices that is important in your network connections. So the hub and switch, both you have learned about. And so every information that goes from one computer to another has to go through the hub, then it will be sent to another computer, to the destination. If I want to send message from this computer to this computer, it has to go through the hub, then it goes to the destination point. So the data does not travel directly from one computer to another, but goes through a hub, which is the central device. What are the advantages? It is very highly dependable in the sense, because everything is connected separately from the central hub. Even if one system gets affected, we can just remove that plug and disconnect that system, and other systems continue to work. And it's very easy to diagnose a problem because they are separately connected. They can be just detached. Any faulty one can be just detached from the hub. What is the disadvantage? It is very costly. Installation is very costly because every computer needs a single wire, a separate wire for each one. Very difficult to expand because it depends upon the hub, how many plug points it has or how many ports it has for connecting. Of course, you can make connect another hub to it, but very difficult to expand because too many wiring. Okay, additional paces that will be connected to the central hub, they need a separate long wire. And if there are more chances of errors if there are too many systems on the hub. And all of them depend, all the computers depend on the hub or on the switch. You can have a hub here or a switch. And all of them depend on this because data is transferred from one computer to another computer through the hub. So if the hub gets a problem, all computers stop working. So it's highly dependent on the hub. So did you understand? In this type of topology, it requires a central hub. It's not like the bus. Bus does not require any central hub. Each one goes from one computer to another, but this goes through the hub. The next type of topology is your ring topology. It is exactly looking like a ring. It's in a closed loop. It's like the bus topology. It also does not have any central hub. The data passes, either you can say send the data from here to this computer or from this computer to this computer. They can go either ways. They are adjacent. You can just transfer the data. But you can just send the data through this computer or you can send it through this computer. But whichever computer you send it through, it goes only in one direction. The data is transferred to one direction from one system to another. If you're sending it from here, it goes to this system, then it goes to this system, then this system, till it reaches its destinations. Okay, so any side you can pass, but it moves only in one direction. What are the advantages of this type of computer? It's also very less expensive because you don't require a lot of cabling. In this type of topology, they mostly use like in bus topology, they use the coaxial cable. In this topology, the best suitable type of connection or the transmission media is your optical fiber cable. Optical fiber cable, you know, they are all glass tubes where light is transmitted, and that's why your picture comes out very clear. And the transmission is very fast in optical fiber cable. So you understood what are the advantages. Less expensive and best means of sending the data is through an optical fiber cable, which is very fast. Now, what is the fault for this? As usual, fault diagnosis is very difficult because each node are connected to each other. It's very difficult to diagnose a fault. If one computer stops working, all of them will stop working, and it's less reliable because one computer stops working, all will have a problem. So what's fault diagnosis? Fault because of one node affected, the whole network will be at fault and they'll stop working. Understood all the three topologies? Okay, there's another type of network that is used in offices, or when we compare it, let's see what are the types of network on the basis of hardware and software devices. These computers, they are classified into two types of network. One is client to server network and the other is peer-to-peer network. Let's see what are the difference between these two networks. The client to server network, here the client to server network, it has a server. Can you see the server? It has a server. This server, there can be, it will provide specific applications and services to the network clients. So the application, everybody cannot use the same application. Specific applications, each one can is provided with that special work to do. There are multiple servers. You can have multiple servers also. With each server, it provides different types of services. This can provide something mailing, another can provide another type of application. So you can have many servers or you can have a single server in this type of network. So you can see there can be multiple servers with each server providing a specific service, or you can have a single server and they will have various services. I is missing various services. If the network is in a very large geographical area, more area it is requiring, then definitely you require multiple servers. This is definitely working on the internet. And if it is in a small area, then one server, a single server is enough. If it is in a very big area, then you require many servers, many more servers, multiple servers to provide all the various services. Okay. Okay. Then what is in the client to server, there are most commonly, this is the most commonly used network basically in any offices. And what are the services that this client to server provides? First is authentication service. It verifies the user. Before you get into this and use their applications, you have to first give your username, your password. That is when, if you are a user of this client to server network, it will ask you for your username, password, and then you can log in into this network. If it's correct, then you can log in because it is very, it has high security. Now, file and print server, it has another type of another type of service. I told you each computer can have different services. You have multiple servers with multiple services. So the server, only the network users of the client to server can access the resources like the files and printers. So if you're in a room, you can access all the files, even if it is a big area, then more files, and you can access even the printer only if you are coming under this type of network. And another type of server, what you have is an application server. These are the different types of servers that are there. What is application server? It provides the user access to the applications. You'll have many applications. So like in the school, you have paint application. They'll have better, higher type of application, maybe a Java program, different applications. So the user can access this application based on the rights allotted to him. He should have the right to do. Suppose he's a designer, then he'll have the right to select all his Corel Draw, those type of applications. So different applications for the users to use. The application server is available only if he is allotted to use that type of application. Then the mail server. What is mail server? It provides authentication. That is, it gives a sign when there is a mail that comes in for the mail user. It manages even the mailbox and then it routes the messages to the user. You know how the mail server works. You also receive in many mails. So did you understand? This is there's high security in this, and these are the different types of servers that we have. Let's see the peer-to-peer network. What is peer-to-peer network? It is called P2P. All computers share resources and have equal privileges and responsibilities. Not like that, not like client to server. If you need any applications or anything, you should have access to it, and if you are given the access to it, then you can use. But here everybody can share the resources, everybody has equal privileges and also responsibilities. You can take up any responsibility. In this network, the computers work as server and client. Their server will provide you whatever application it wants you to do, but here you can act as a server and you can take whatever applications you require, and you also act like a client. Usually the computers are set close to each other, can be set up in the homes, offices, in a school also. We can set up this type of servers. You can just have one single server and everybody using from that single server, or each and everyone having a server, and then you can access any data from any of the computers. Peer-to-peer, sir, let's see how is it useful to us. So peer-to-peer network should be used when should you use it? When it is a small less network, that is when you have less number of users, less number of computers. And the network area should be within an office, within a building. It cannot be like expanded like the client to server, which everyone can use. And here in this, future extensions is not expected, because if you start extending the network, then you may be having a problem. Here security, no security, it's not very critical, not very important, because you can just go into somebody else's computers and check, because everything is on the server. You can just check via server anything. So security is not critical, means it's not very important. They don't read the security. Only a simple network setup is necessary. Administration is required. So it's a very simple type of setup which you can do it at your school or office, at your home also. Now, you already learned about transmission media in your previous chapter also, but let's go through it. First one is a twisted pair cable. You see that it consists of an insulin wire and they're twisted. They're being twisted, okay? Because of the twisted, you have two wires. It reduces the electromagnetic interference. So there is data traveling without any problem. In the coaxial cable, here there are two conductors, okay? There are two conductors, a solid conductor that runs through the middle. Can you see? Runs through the middle, through the center of the surround, and then it's surrounded by an insulin. This is an insulator. And over this insulator, you have wire mesh. This is your wire mesh. And over the wire mesh, it's covered with a protected jacket. Okay. First, you have the conductor, then a solid conductor, and then the mesh wire, and then it's covered with a protective jacket. In this optical fiber cable, I told you already, it's all glass like tubes or glass, it's glass or plastic tubes. And here it's covered with the lower refractive index so that the light does not expand like that. So it's having a covered like thing. So the signals are carried in the form of light. Because of this internal reflection between the glass and the cladding, there is a minimum loss of light. It is within this thing, what is it called? The lower refracted index, internal reflected index. So, and carrying, there is a minimum loss of light, and this is very useful for large distance communication, and it gives a very clear picture, sound, everything is very clear if you use a optical fiber cable, because light passes through these tubes. Then you have the radio waves and microwaves. This is actually the latest what we are using, all wireless. These are channels which are very effective in areas where it's very difficult to lay cables. So there is a use of large geographical areas. Here it's also cost effective. It does not cost much. You can see how it looks, the radio waves and this microwaves, how it transmits from this one to another. Okay, the frequency here, when it's below 1000 megahertz, it's a radio wave, and it's over 1000 megahertz, it's a microwave. How you have your microwave heaters? The heat comes from all directions. You can receive signals from all directions. Clear? And this is also cost effective. Okay, now you need to complete your worksheets. I think you understood about the different types of topologies, their advantages and disadvantages, and transmission media, which you already did. Then you know client to server, how much security it has, and peer-to-peer does not have much security, and it is only within a small area. Then your worksheets, you see, what is you can read it and answer the questions. A single continuous cable, which type of layout is it? It's a bus topology. And here you have pairs that are insulated wires and they're twisted. I just now told you, it's the twisted cable. And topology, which is very difficult to expand, is mesh topology. Oh, you didn't. It's very difficult. And client to server network has a server for providing some types of specific applications and services for the network clients only. So it's client to server. Then fill in the blanks. Dash is referred to as a layout which various computers are connected. A topology, network type of topology. Dash is a transmission media used to connect the computers across the continent. Which type you'll use? Radio waves are suitable for this type, which is across the continent. You can use even microwaves. Then dash type of cable have two conductors. Twisted cable has two conductors. What is the frequency which is below 1000 megahertz? What is it called? It's a radio wave. Above 1000 megahertz, it's microwave. Which type of topology is in a closed loop? Ring topology. Also look to your answers. Here the page numbers are there. Just look at your page numbers and do it. This is your next one. Here it says, what are the various types of transmission? You know it. It's on page number 15. What's the difference between client and server? You just now did it. It's on page number 13 and 14. In the previous chapter also, I've put the answers. Last time what you did, just check if you got all the answers right on page number 7. Like it said, what's the medium of in WAN network, what you use? You use all satellite, fiber cable and radio waves. And anything that has a central hardware device in the network, what is it called? It's called a switch, it's called a hub, but a central device, hub and a switch. Then NOS stands for Network Operating Systems. And which is the best for TV, cable TV? MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. And which is a private network? Private network is intranet. And you check all these objectives on the different pages, page number 7, page number 8 also. Here you have the fill in the blanks. Check whether you got all the things correctly and do your homework, children. And for today's homework, it is chapter 2 topologies, which I've just completed. Page number 17 and 18, do it in your computer reader. And bits 3 and 4, you should write in your classwork book. Since you have even place in the reader, please do bit 3 and 4. Both should be done in the classwork as well as your reader. Okay, children? I hope you understood the class well. See the video 2-3 times till you understand and do your homework. Okay, children, have a nice day. Stay safe.